live in Tampa, Florida. I've suffered from back pain for about 10 years. I've always had large breasts, but after my first child, not only the breasts were larger, but they were also saggy. I'm only 34 years old, so it made me very conscious, self-conscious. And I have been looking for a surgeon who can perform breast reduction with minimum scars or any other concerns for a while. Skinnovation Clinic on a website. The constant touch with Dr. Rajat Gupta's staff for about a month. They were very diligent and contacting me through WhatsApp and answering all my questions. I was planning a trip to India, so I decided to make in-person visit to Dr. Rajat. I also visited two other female doctors. As I was getting a breast reduction, I just wanted to see who I felt most comfortable with. I picked Dr. Rajat Gupta because the first day I met him, he was very knowledgeable. So the day of surgery is when I visited the clinic for where I was going to have a surgery. It was beyond my expectation. It was one room, one nurse, as he told me. There was a restroom in the room, so there was complete privacy. The nurse was very diligent. Every time I rang the call bell, she was there to help me even during the night. The OR was to US standards. I worked as a surgical nurse myself in a same-day surgery, so I visited OR before, and the cleanliness and the hygiene and all the infection control standards were up to US standards. So being a nurse, that was one of my concerns, and it made me very comfortable having surgery with Dr. Gupta because his standards are to the US standard, if not to US standard, more than that. So after 6 hours of surgery, I got my breast reduction and lift. He was also able to do some liposuction on the side of my breast. I did some lipo on my tummy because I had some excess fat from being pregnant, and also I got some fat injections for my buttocks. I always felt like my buttocks were a little bit on the flatter side. That was another a conscious concern I had. After a week, when I visited Dr. Rajat and he examined me, and that was the first time I saw my breast, and I was speechless because I didn't remember my breast looking that perky since I was probably a teenager. My abdomen was definitely shrunk, and my buttocks were plumpier. I did have some swelling. I was concerned about a little bit of lumpiness in my abdomen. My left breast was not only heavier, but it was also wider than my right breast. So the stitches were not as straight as, they were straight, but in the bottom, they were a little bit different than the right side. So I was kind of concerned, but Dr. Rajat reassured me that in time everything's going to settle in place. My abdomen swelling and all the knottiness is going to go down. He prescribed me prescription ointment for swelling and also advised to do massage with coconut oil. And he was happy to see me every week since I was in Delhi locally, and to just keep me not so worried. And every time he examined me, and every time there was an improvement. And now both breast stitches look similar. My abdomen is swelling is completely gone, and even though I didn't have a tummy tuck, my tummy is very flat, which I hadn't seen before I got pregnant. And my buttocks is definitely plumpy. My jeans are fitting a lot better. I don't have to worry about them falling off of my buttocks. So this had been such a great experience that I also decided to get some injections to get my lips plump. Even though this is not a permanent change, but definitely, if you would have seen my lips before, I didn't have a lip. So after he was done with that, and I was like, I have a lip. So definitely very happy with all the procedures I've had done with him. I definitely recommend. He's very patient and very knowledgeable. Those are the two qualities I look for any doctor. Especially if I'm paying for some procedure, I need to be sure that I'm looking for a right guy and they're listening to me. I know that they're medical doctors, but I know my body best and I know my needs best. So somebody to be able to listen is very important. And obviously I want him to be an expert in doing what he's doing, and make his suggestions along the way. So I work in Florida as a nurse. I've worked in a same-day surgery clinic, and I've worked alongside with a lot of surgeons and doctors. My main concern is that sometimes they don't listen to patients' needs, and they're not very good listeners. So I could have got the surgery in US, especially where I live in Florida. There's a lot of cosmetic surgeons. So the cost was not a factor for me personally. I wanted somebody who was able to understand me, what my needs were, and then make suggestions. And obviously I'm here to listen, but listen to what I have to say. And even though Dr. Rajat Gupta pricing are a little bit more than other surgeons in town, but you always pay for what you pay for what you get. His customer service, his listening skills, the hygiene in the OR, in his clinic, his staff, everybody I would give 5 stars to. Staff is very helpful, from coordinating if it was US or coordinating here in India. Everything, like, they were able to coordinate and make it very convenient for me. So convenience and him be able to listen and provide me the results I wanted, I think I made the best choice.